Hi everybody, it's Stacy from Quick Quotes, and I am going to walk you through the December Club Q kits, and I want to show you what January has in store as well. What we're going through today is the December kit, so we have Oh Holy Night and we have the Merry Christmas Elf. If you are a Club Q member, we thank you for being a member. And if you're not, this is an easy way to get Quick Quotes kits shipped to your door every single month. We do a video every month so that we can walk you through step by step. You get 4 pages, so 2 double page kits plus a paper pack every single month. Check it out at our website, shopquickquotes.com. There's also an option to skip and opt out on months too. So you don't have to take the ones that you don't want, but you get a ton of stuff in your first shipment because you get lots of free stuff also. So check that out. I want to show you also what we have in store for January. We have this beautiful paper line with some really fun kits. So that one is called Let Your Soul Shine. And then we have Be Bright, Be Happy, Be You. You are my sun, my moon, and all my stars. So this is a really fun, soft paper line for January. So this is what you have to look forward to next month. And I also wanted to let you know that we have our brand new 2023 inks in. We are super excited because it's very rare that we get any in before the end of the year. But we have them on our website. You can add them to your add-on cart if you want to have it shipped with your next monthly kit. It is our candy collection, so we have some really fun and beautiful colors in there. We have peppermint stick, we have candy corn, taffy, cotton candy, lemon drop, sour apple, some really fun colors in there. So we just got a limited supply by the end of the year, so go ahead, get online, check those out, add them to your cart, get them while we have them. We also have a bundle deal, so if you want to get the new ones and the old ones all at one time, it saves you like $10. So check that out, but we're going to get started with the Club Q kits. Oh, one more thing. We have an event coming up in January 28th. The kits are shipping now. You get all of our leftover convention class kits that we've not done online before. Check that out. I think it's $99, but you get to make 16 pages in one day. We give out prizes. You get a thank you gift. It's a really fun event, and it's all live on our Facebook page. So if you go to shopquickquotes.com, online events, and sign up for the January event, we will ship your bundle out to you, and then you can join us live or watch the videos later, and we'll walk you through step by step. So join us. There's only maybe 20 kits left or something. We're getting down there. So if you want to join us for the January event, check that out. And we will get started with the December instruction videos. Okay, we are going to get started with December Club Q. The first one that we're doing is the Christmas elf. I love this cute elf on here. Super easy kit, but there is lots of spaces for pictures. So to get started, in your kit, there are step-by-step instructions like we have in every kit. We are going to start out with the cutting, with the ribbon and cutting diagrams. So there's a cutting diagram in your kit like this. And then I'm going to just set the directions aside. You don't necessarily have to have your directions out because, just to glance at the pictures, but I'm going to walk you through it step by step. The great thing about having a video is that you can stop it and pause it at any point, get your chalking done, get some of the stuff done, and then push play again. So just pause it at any point if I get going too fast. I'm going to move these out of the way, and we're going to kind of work on both pages at the same time. So you have 2 background pages, and they are both kind of the chevron candy cane stripe. Grab those 2, And then we are going to do the cutting diagrams. So you have two papers that are 7 by 12, two white papers that are 7 by 12. I'm going to move in my cutter. There is also one single 5.5 by 7.5, I think it is. This one is just going to be used by itself. We're not cutting that one, so just set that one aside. The ones that we will be cutting are the 3.5 strip, 3.5 inch strip, and the two 7 by 12s. And you'll have some extra white paper coming out of that too, so you can use that for whatever. All right, I'll bring my cutter in. And the first one we are going to cut is 3.5 by 3 3/4. So what we want to do is grab a 7 by 12, put it in your trimmer at 3.5 and trim. You can just set this aside. You will have some extra stuff to work with. And then it is 5 3/4 long. So you put it in at 5.75 and trim. And just so we can see this on the video, I'm going to write the size on here. You don't really want to do this to yours because you don't want it to show, but I'm going to put that on there just so you can see what we're working with. Okay, set that one aside. The next one is the second 7 by 12 paper. And we're going to cut a 5 by 7 and a 4 by 5.5. So we'll put this in. It's already 7 inches wide. So we're going to put it into the 5 inch. Trim. This one is a 5 by 7. And remember earlier I told you already have a pre-cut 5.5 by 7.5. So when we go to use these, you don't want to get these mixed up. You can see one smaller. So you have a 5.5 by 7.5. And a 5 by 7 that you just cut. All right, the next cut, you just slide this down to 4 inches and trim. And this is going to be a 4 by 5.5. So we turn it this way and trim it at 5.5. And then set that aside. And any of these pieces that come off the ends, you can hang on to them to use for something else. We just sometimes give you extra paper so that you can maybe use it with your extra paper pack or something like that to make a whole nother layout. Okay, the last one, the last cutting diagram is this red and white paper. And you can see on here that we do a 4.5 by 12, 4.5 by 12, and then there's a couple different ones here. So to start, we are just going to cut at 4.5, 4.5, and make those two strips. Put it in at 4.5. And the direction of the paper, I have it going this way, but if you turn it the other way, it's not going to really make any difference if you end up cutting it going the other way. So 4.5. Oops. Slide it down, cut another 4.5 inch strip. And this end piece is where we are going to cut two different sizes here. So there is a 3 inch strip that you have here, and we need to cut it at 5 1/4. Then down here, a 3 inch strip by 5. So let's turn it this way, 5 1/4. This one is 3 by 5 1/4. And then I'm just going to move it down and cut a 3 by 5. So it's already 3 wide. We'll push it down and to 5 inches. And this one is a 3 by 5. course, you don't want to write on yours, but when you go to pick them up, just know that there's 2 different sizes, so when we go to use them, you can see which one you need. Okay, so as far as cutting diagrams, that is all we have. The only other cutting, and we always try to do this at the very beginning so that you can just get your trimmer and your scissors out of the way. You have a gingham ribbon, and we want to cut it into 2 11-inch pieces. So basically you don't really have to, if it's just 2 pieces, same size, you don't have to measure this out, just fold it in half and you have 2 equal pieces there. Okay, I'm going to move the trimmer out of the way and we will get started on the layout. The first 2 pieces that you need are the red strips. One goes 1 inch in from the left side of your left page, 1 inch in, and one goes 1 inch from the bottom of your right page. I like kits like this so that you can kind of work together and get both pages done. The next thing we will put down is the 2 green strips, and it comes out of the laser, just off the end of the laser, 2 green strips that go on your left page. And as we go, feel free to chalk these up with any color you would like. So we actually have, I'm going to show you, it suggests a couple of colors, and let's see, this one actually suggests fields of green, jade, and rouge, but since we designed this kit, our brand new inks have come in. So if you haven't gotten the new ones, we only got a limited supply. So if you want the 2023 inks in the 12 pack, they are on our website now, and it is the Candy Collection. So it's kind of fun names. There's a few in here that would actually work on this kit. So if you wanted to use colors that work, there is a sour apple that's like kind of a neon green that would be kind of fun with this. There is a peppermint stick, which is a bright red. There's black licorice that actually has just a hint of greenish color in it, but it's a black with greenish, really dark green. So those are some suggestions if you do have the new pack of inks that you could use on your kit right now. And if you don't have them, you can purchase them on our website. They're up now, and just a limited supply. We're hoping everybody gets them early. So here's peppermint stick. I'm going to just chalk up a couple of things here so you can see. You can chalk as you go, or you can stop and chalk every little piece that you want. So you can see this peppermint stick. Oh, it's really juicy because it is brand new, but it is a really bright and beautiful red. You can see that. So go ahead and chalk things up as you please. And if you need to take time, just go ahead and stop the video and start again. And if you've never used our Powder Puff chalking inks before, they are a soft, they leave a soft look, they dry permanent, they have the look of chalk without having the mess of chalk. So you can chalk up the edges, give a little extra dimension on things, and it makes it easy to add some color to your page. Okay, so the next step, let me get a little organized here. When you do this second page with your strips, there are some strips of yellow here. When you put these down, these are going to be kind of a pocket. So we're going to slide things down into this. So when you glue this part down, I would just do the bottom and the sides. So when we put on our yellow strips, we just do the very end of the top one. You can glue the bottom one all the way down. But this one, you want this to be a little pocket for your present photo holders there, or photo backers there. And I typically use an ATG gun for my adhesive. This one's been well loved, has my son on stuck to the other side. But this is normally what I use just because it's easy, but you can use any double-sided tape. You can use liquid glue. You just don't need a whole lot of liquid glue, whatever your favorite adhesive is. Okay, so when you put this down, you're going to want to put adhesive just on the ends because this is going to be a little pocket. This one can be glued all the way down. And then we will start making the Merry Christmas sign. I'm going to get all the pieces here. So there should be a 3.5 by 5 red and green striped paper and a 4 by 5.5 white paper. So this 4 by 5.5, the one that I started to chalk up, this is going to be your sign for the elf. So we turn it just a little bit sideways at an angle. You want to leave room probably about 3 inches from the bottom so that you leave room for the feet of the elf. And then there is a striped piece that fits right on top of that. So you can go ahead and adhere that on there. And again, chalk those up with any color. I think on my sample, I actually used Fields of Green. See, I use Fields of Green around the edge there. And I just barely do the edges. Just slide it down the side, whoops, and then barely do the edges. Unless you want to chalk up his little fingers all the way, have him have green gloves, up to you. Once you have that glued together, your green Merry Christmas gets adhered right in the middle. And then your white Merry Christmas right on top of it. And this you're going to want to use a glue pen. You don't have to have adhesive around the entire letter. You can just put a few dots here and there and then adhere it to the green back. And the same with the other words, just a little bit on the back. Glue pens are usually pretty tacky. You don't have to put a ton on there to hold the word down. And once you have that on there, we will start building our elf. So all of your elf pieces are in laser cuts. We try to have as much cut for you as possible. I'm going to punch out the yellow ones first. Let's leave that here. And these are his little socks. So what I'm going to do is put these on the page first because they are so tiny I don't want to lose them. So on the back side, put a little glue pin. And then you're going to want to line these up. And adhere these down. And our elf is standing just a little bit up from the bottom of the page, as you can see here. But if you only left enough space for the shoes to go all the way to the bottom of the page, that's fine too. You have a lot of wiggle room there. Okay, now some of the green, we are going to punch out the hat first. So this little piece that looks kind of like a whale, we are going to put a little adhesive right on the edge here so that we can put the yellow piece of the hat. So you can see, just so that it covers up the bottom of the green there. So you can see on the back it looks kind of like this, on the front like this. And then that is going to get glued just at the top here of your sign. Out of your white laser, there's 3 little dots, but the biggest one goes at the very top of your hat. These guys are the hands. And those go right at the edge of your sign. So it looks like he's holding it up. The next part is the top of the boots, and that goes right underneath. Oh, you know what? Actually, back up, rewind. We are going to put the boots, the green boots on first, and then the white goes on top of them. So just below, and they don't have to be exactly straight, just below those yellow stockings, and then these go right at the top of your boot, right up next to the yellow. Those are kind of little pieces, so if you need to pause and get all of that done. Oh, you know what? I forgot to cut at the very beginning the 3.5 by 3.5 white squares, so I might have to pull my trimmer back in here in a second. I'm just going to lay these on here. These don't have to be adhered yet. I just noticed we don't have the squares to go on here. So once you get your little elf together, everything else is kind of just layering the photo backers. We're going to tie 2 bows to go at the top of the presents. So what I do is I take it about, I don't know, about 1/3 of the way in, fold it, wrap it around, and then you can really kind of work with it and adjust it. And I trim the ends off and make them kind of pretty. I'm actually going to do like a little dovetail, fold this over, and then trim up towards my fingers, and it makes the perfect little dove's tail. Again on this one, trim up towards my fingers, just like that. And then in a second, we're going to grab our trimmer again and trim out the 3.5-inch white photo backers. Sorry, I usually get all the trimming done in the very beginning. Fold it. Okay. So on page 1, there is, remember I said there is a 5 by 5 and a 5.5 by 7.5. The 5.5 by 7.5 is the one that we want on page 1. And we put that down about 1/4 of an inch from the top of the page. And then you have a 5 by 7 striped that gets it here right on top of that. And again, remember to chalk these up if you want to as you go. At the bottom, there is a 3.5 by 5 3/4. That goes right at the bottom with the 3 1/4, oh, I forgot the 1 on there. The 3 by 5 1/4, we're actually using the other side of this, and this gets adhered on right here. On page 2, we have your 5 by 7 white. Your green and red stripe goes right on top of that. And then that tucks down just barely into this pocket so that you have about 1/4 inch at the top. Then we have your 2 present photo backers. The striped one just overlaps just slightly. And remember, if you don't have pictures on these yet, make sure that you don't glue them all the way down, especially ones that are layered like this, because you won't be able to slide another picture in there behind. So maybe just put a little piece of glue on there just to tack it in slightly, and then you can peel it back out and put pictures in later. These will be best glued down if you have a liquid glue. Those go right at the top, and I actually put it right above the present so that you have plenty of space to put pictures in. And the only other thing is the 3 1/2 by 3 1/2 pieces. So you have, I'm sorry I didn't cut this at the beginning, you have a 3 1/2 inch strip. We're going to put those in and cut them each at 3 1/2. Make sure that they are actually 3 1/2. Yes, 3 1/2. All the way down. Another 3 1/2, and then this last one should be 3 1/2. And again, chalk that up. I'll chalk it up a little bit. And it looks really nice with any of the greens too. We have lots of greens. We have fields of green. We have light moss. You could do like a lighter color. We have green with envy. Lots of greens. So these aren't tacked down yet. We're going to save that until after we space out our 3 1/2 inch pieces. So you want it about 3/4 inch from the edge, and then about 3/4 inch from the top. And what I do is I do this one on this side, and I do this one on this side at the same 3/4 inch all the way around. And then I just center this one in the middle of it. Once those are down, you center your green piece, and you're set. Super easy kit, fun Christmas kit. I hope you had a very Merry Christmas, and I hope you enjoyed the December kits, and we will see you next time.